I've just finished building a RTX Plus shock, and when we call this our RTX, it's our standard tractive shock, but rather than having a divider piston internal in the shock, so normally this divider piston would be inside of the shock body, and then the nitrogen charge would be in this area where the divider piston would be. But on the RTX, what we do is we remove the divider piston and we put an external divider piston which has a little bit larger volume. More ideal for full race conditions. This shock will be on an actual race car. Really great for high performance. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll remove a divider piston when the shock body length is compromised by the installation. This is being installed in a 997 GT3. It's really not in a compromised situation because the shock body length is more than adequate. Really great for the front of a GT3, and any McPherson car handles an extreme amount of loading. Today I'll be running this PlusCan, which has a high and a low speed adjuster, which allows for very, very fine tuning on cars that are non-velocity controlled like this GT3. So right now what I'm in the middle of doing is charging the oil charge. So I'm going to cycle this, and we've got a machine here that will actually install the oil and evacuate it and pull it down to about 29.9 inches of mercury, which is like almost a perfect vacuum. And it boils out any of the air that's in there and allows us to have just pure oil charge, which is the optimum for a shock absorber. We're going to go ahead and put this under a vacuum, and we'll pull this down to about 29 inches of mercury, which will totally remove any air from the oil bath so that the piston never has any oil, which causes cavitation of the piston. We'll start to, right now we're down about an atmosphere, a little more than an atmosphere, and here we go. We're going to pull it down to about 29 inches of mercury, which is almost a perfect vacuum. This is a really powerful vacuum pump. And this will remove any aeration at all from the oil and make a perfect bath for the piston, the perfect environment, so there's never cavitation of the piston. So now we're going to install the oil. See the installation of the oil. And that's it. Now we have the perfect bleeding of the shock absorber. Setting the separation piston height with this tool. That sets it to the perfect level. I'll go ahead and remove the bath area. Now we want to create it so that there's absolutely no air whatsoever. There's really no other way to bleed a shock except for to do it this way, not perfectly. And that is it. Divider piston is set for height. And the next step, we will go ahead and install this shock in a GT3 Porsche car.